I never expected the night to change like this. The elevator doors opened on the fourth floor with a soft ding. As I stepped out, I felt a warm hand brush slowly across my lower back. It was light, but it lingered just a second too long to be an accident. My breath caught. I turned my head slightly and saw three men walking up behind me. They were tall, confident, and moving with quiet purpose. The one closest to me met my eyes. His gaze was steady and warm, like he wanted me to know that touch had been on purpose. Instead of feeling scared, something inside me fluttered. My steps slowed. Their footsteps followed, close but not crowding me. The hallway carpet was thick and soft, swallowing most sounds. Still, I could feel their presence like a gentle heat against my shoulders and arms. Halfway down the corridor, one of them stepped up beside me. He had dark hair and rolled up sleeves that showed strong forearms. As we walked, the back of his hand brushed mine. Once, twice. Each time it sent a small spark up my arm. "Long hallway," he said softly, his voice low and calm. "Room 447, I answered, my own voice a little shaky. "We're in 451, he replied. His knuckles grazed mine again, slower this time, almost like a question. My heart was beating faster. I reached my door and pulled out the key card, but my fingers felt clumsy. Before I could slide it in, a steady hand, darker skinned and gentle, covered mine. He guided the card smoothly into the slot. "Let me help," he said, standing close enough that I felt the warmth of his body near my shoulder. The lock clicked green. The door opened. None of them stepped back. The third man reached past me and held the door open, his arm brushing lightly against my shoulder. "You looked like you were trying to disappear in the lobby earlier," he said quietly. I swallowed. "Did I?" "You kept looking back," the first man added. His hand rested lightly on my hip now, just resting there, warm through my clothes. It felt like he was testing if I would move away. I didn't. "Were we wrong to follow?" the man holding the door asked. His fingers traced gently down my arm and circled my wrist with care. I should have said yes. I should have stepped inside alone and closed the door. But the truth rose up before I could stop it. "No," I whispered. "You weren't wrong." That single word changed everything. The hand on my hip pressed a little firmer, drawing me gently toward him. The man who had helped with the key card lifted my hand between us, looked at it for a moment like it was something precious, then pressed a soft kiss to my palm. The warmth of his lips made my knees feel weak. "Tell us if you want us to stop," the third man said, his hand resting lightly on my shoulder. I couldn't speak. I only shook my head slowly. They guided me backward into the room, their hands steady and careful on my hips, my wrist, and my shoulder. The door clicked shut behind us, and suddenly the world outside disappeared. It was just the four of us in the soft light of the hotel room. I stood in the middle of the room, surrounded. The dark-haired man stayed behind me, both hands now resting gently on my hips, his thumbs making small, soothing circles on my lower back. The man who had kissed my palm stepped in front of me, so close I had to tilt my head up to meet his eyes. The third man moved to my side, completing the circle. "What is this?" I whispered, my voice barely there. Instead of answering with words, the man in front of me gently cupped my face with both hands. His thumbs brushed softly over my cheekbones as he studied me. Then he leaned in and pressed his lips first to my forehead, then to my temple, and finally to the corner of my mouth. It was slow, asking permission with every touch. I turned my head just a little, and our lips met. The kiss was soft at first, almost careful. But when I leaned into it, he slid one hand into my hair and deepened the kiss with quiet hunger. Behind me, the dark-haired man pulled my hips back gently against him, steadying me as my body softened. The third man took my free hand, weaving his fingers through mine and holding it warmly. When the kiss finally broke, I was breathing harder. My legs felt unsteady. The bed, the man behind me murmured against my ear, "Before you fall." They walked me backward together, supporting me between them with gentle hands on my waist and arms. When the back of my legs touched the mattress, I sat down, then lay back as they arranged themselves around me, one on each side, one near the foot of the bed. Three warm, solid presences surrounding me. The dark-haired man propped himself on one elbow beside me. His hand slipped slowly beneath the edge of my shirt to rest flat on my stomach, skin against skin. It was warm and steady. "Just breathe," he whispered. The man on my other side did the same, his fingers tracing slow, soothing patterns along my ribs. The third man wrapped his hands gently around my calves, his thumbs pressing lightly into the muscle, easing tension I didn't even know I was carrying. "Tell me what you want," the man touching my stomach said softly. I closed my eyes for a moment, feeling the weight of their attention. "I want to feel real," I said quietly. "Like I exist. Like I matter." His hand moved a little higher, stopping just below my bra, palms spread wide and warm. "You exist right here," he said. "Can you feel that?" I nodded. I could feel it, the steady press of three bodies creating a kind of gravity around me, holding me in place, making me feel anchored. The man who had been at my feet moved up the bed until his face hovered above mine. "May I?" he asked. "Yes." He kissed me slowly, thoroughly, one hand cradling the back of my head with care. While he kissed me, the dark-haired man's fingers traced the line where my shirt met my pants, not going further, just mapping the boundary with gentle respect. The third man's hand slid from my ribs to my hip, pulling me lightly toward him. I was completely surrounded by touch, hands on my skin, fingers threaded through fingers, lips brushing my neck and jaw. Every movement was slow, attentive, and full of longing. When that kiss ended, the man pressed his forehead gently to mine. "We could stay like this all night," he said softly. "Just touching. Just this. Is that what you want?" I asked. His lips brushed my knuckles. "We want what you want." Time seemed to melt away after that. They held me between them, turning me gently from one set of arms to another. The dark-haired man rolled me toward him and tucked my body against his chest, wrapping his arms around me. The man behind me pressed close, his hand resting warmly on my hip. The third man faced me, his fingertips tracing my collarbone, my jaw, and my bottom lip with feather-light touches. "I don't even know your names," I whispered. "Does it matter tonight?" the man behind me asked, his lips brushing my shoulder. "No," I admitted. "It doesn't." "Then we're just this," he said. "Just now." The dark-haired man kissed me again, deep, slow, and full of quiet need. Behind me, the second man slid his hand beneath my shirt to rest flat against my stomach, holding me securely between them. The third man's fingers wound gently into my hair, tilting my head back so he could press warm kisses along my throat. I was shaking, but not from fear. "You're shaking," the dark-haired man noticed, his voice full of concern. "I know," I breathed. "It's too much, but in a good way. I'm overwhelmed." His hand came up to cup my face tenderly. "We can stop anytime," he said. "I don't want you to stop," I whispered. Something in the air between us shifted. The touches became more purposeful, more focused, but never rushed. They kept checking in with soft words and gentle looks, making sure every moment still felt right for me. The man behind me pulled my hips back against him a little more firmly. The dark-haired man's hand moved slowly from my face down my neck and across my chest, stopping at my waist. The third man kissed me while his hands explored my shoulders, my arms, and my sides with warm, reverent care. I felt worshipped. I felt seen. No one was in a hurry. There was no pressure for anything more. They simply gave me their complete attention, holding me, touching me, kissing me with slow, aching longing. Every brush of fingers, every press of lips, every shared breath reminded me that right now, I was the center of their world. At one point, the dark-haired man pulled me closer and murmured against my ear, "However this night ends, remember you mattered tonight." Those words broke something open inside my chest. I turned my face into his neck and breathed him in, letting the solid warmth of all three of them hold me. Their bodies created a safe, living cocoon around mine, arms wrapped around me, hands resting on my hips and waist, lips brushing my skin with tender care. We stayed like that for what felt like hours, for bodies tangled together in quiet closeness, hands sliding slowly over arms and backs, fingers interlacing, foreheads pressed together, soft kisses exchanged in the soft glow of the bedside lamp. I had spent so many months, maybe years, feeling invisible, like I was moving through life without truly being seen. Tonight, that feeling was gone. With every gentle touch, every whispered word of reassurance, every patient kiss, they made me feel undeniably real. I existed. I mattered. And for the first time in longer than I could remember, I felt completely, beautifully alive. The night stretched on, full of soft tension and unspoken longing. We remained wrapped in each other, touching, holding, breathing together, lost in the simple but powerful intimacy of being truly present with one another. No names, no tomorrow, just this moment and the warm, aching connection that made me feel safe, desired, and whole.